Hey, John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy. Thank you for joining me. Another quick live stream. We we're finishing. We're under financing terms for the PSI real estate examination, and specifically the different types of, when I say terms, the different types of loan products that are out there. And we kind of got into an adjustable rate mortgage, and that's what I'm going to pick up on right now. So I'm going to take you over to the board, and we are going to quickly take a look at adjustable rate mortgages. These are called an ARM, an ARM, an adjustable rate mortgage. So I'm going to abbreviate here for you. So adjustable rate mortgage. And these these ARM loans will come in anywhere from a 1-year ARM. And when we say ARM, it's like, when will it adjust? Well, if it's a 1-year ARM, it will adjust every year. Okay? If it's a 3-year ARM, then it's going to adjust every 3 years. And when we say that it adjusts, if you started out, and we looked the other day at an adjustable rate mortgage, and I think it was 5.9 versus a 6.9 for a fixed, okay? However, remember what I told you with adjustable rate mortgages, usually lower closing cost, you're going to have a lower payment because you have a lower interest rate, and just several other very good items that go along with this. Now, when we look at an adjustable rate mortgage, and let's just say you took a 5.9 ARM, I should have put 3-year ARM. So you took a 5.9 3-year adjustable rate mortgage. This is May 25, right? So in 3 years, 26, 27, in May of 28, your interest rate will either go up or down. Okay? Now, in this 3-year, it was a 3-year ARM, 3-1s, what I looked at the other day when we were looking at rates, which means the interest rate could go up or down 1%. Could not go above 6.9, could not go below 4.9. Now, there are a couple of other things that are tied with an adjustable rate mortgage. Number one is the index. And so the index might be the consumer cost of funds, or there's different indexes that can be used. And so if the index, and then the other item we have is what's called a margin. And a margin might be 2.5%. So let's just say today the margin, or this rate here, the date you got your 5.9, let's just back it up 2.5 and say that it was 3.4 today in May of 26. Is that right? We're in May. We're in 25, aren't we? I'm wanting to get to 26 too soon. I don't want to do that. I'm old enough now. I'm 25. So if the margin was 3.4 in 3 years, I'm going to go to my red marker here. In May 28, they're going to look at this, and let's just say this margin in 3 years is 1%. Okay? So this is 1%. Now remember, today it's 3.4. And they give you the historical perspective so you can see how this rate moves up or down. So today, in 28, it's only 1%. It's actually gone down, hasn't it? But we have to add the 2.5% margin. So 2.5 plus 1 would be 3.5. So your new interest rate, would it be 3.5%? Well, unfortunately, it can only move 1 point up or down. So since it's this low, your rate in 28 would renew at probably 4.9%. Excuse me. Because remember, it can only move 1 point every adjustment period. And so since the index is only 1% in May of 28, we're going to then have to add the margin of 2.5 to that 1% current cost of funds or consumer price index or whatever they use. And so 1 plus 2.5 is 3.5%, but the documents you signed stipulate that your rate can only go one point either way. So your new rate for the next 3 years would be 4.9%. Now, same thing could happen though. We could say that this current cost of funds, let's say it's 4%. Okay? Well, we have to add the 2.5 to the 4%. So now that would be what? 6.5%. And you're currently at 5.9, but you can only go up 1% either way, but that 1% would be 6.9. So your new rate, if it was a 4% consumer price index, your new rate would go up to 6.5%. So your payment could go up for another 3 years. It would go up to 6.5%. So that's how an adjustable rate mortgage works. It can go up or down. Yes, remember I mentioned the other day that I really think it's not a bad idea, because what I've found just in my 47 years of being a real estate broker and my observation in this entire process is that a lot of people will refinance their mortgage or sell their home, and so they paid all of these high closing costs and all of this other information, these higher costs, and then they end up selling the house or refinancing it. So that's just my take of what I've seen. I'm not saying don't get a fixed interest rate, but you got to look at all the factors. Will we be selling? Will we be refinancing our home? My wife and I, a couple of years ago, probably about 1.5 years ago, almost refinanced our home. The rates were low, and I think we would have probably gotten in at a little bit lower than where we were. However, we now have our house on the market, and we're downsizing. Our closing costs back then were going to be over $5,000 just for the closing cost. Now, I don't think we would have saved $5,000 in payments, even though our payment would have gone down. I don't think the difference between the new payment, if we had refinanced, and our current payment for 1.5 years would have been worth of paying over $5,000 in closing costs. We would have lost our shirt. And so that's why I just want you to be cautious and look at that. And hey, you're going to be a real estate professional. You have a fiduciary obligation to your buyers to talk to them about these types of things. Now, some of them may say, John, I want a fixed rate loan, just get out of here. But you have to make them understand and look at the fact that that's fine. Fixed rate's a great rate to get. But if you think you might sell or refinance in 1 year or 2 years, you really should consider getting an adjustable rate mortgage. That's just my experience and what I've noticed and seen over and over and over again. I mean, the average time most people stay in a home is 7 years, but I'm telling you what, that's why you work hard in this business for the first few years, and then this business will work hard for you, because those folks are going to come back and do business with you. They're going to recommend and refer folks to you. And so you want to be able to give them good advice and help them out. So adjustable rate mortgage, you will see that on the real estate exam, and you need to know the different mechanics and pieces to it and how it works. And so I want you to make sure that you are familiar with an adjustable rate mortgage. Now, the last thing I want to mention here is that there is a difference between an ARM, an adjustable rate mortgage that's maybe like a 3-1 that we talked about. It adjusts every 3 years and it can only go up or down 1%. So there is a difference between that and what is called a balloon note. Because a balloon note, or I should say loan, as we talked about the other day, remember, you're going to have the loan and it will be amortized over 20 or 30 years, but it may have a 3-year demand feature. Or a demand clause, or it could just be called a 3-year balloon. And so this is different because it does not automatically adjust. It's what? A demand note, which means the entire balance becomes due and payable. And if you can't come up with that balance on a balloon note, then you could have some major issues. Hey, we'll pick back up tomorrow on more loan types. I'm going to go cut the grass now in between rains, so make sure the grass gets cut. But I wanted to do a quick YouTube and have you ensure that you are ready for different types of loans. So we've had some great pass rates at Global Real Estate School. Check us out, globalrealestateschool.com. I want to have you as a student, and I'd be thrilled and honored for you to be a part of Global Real Estate School. Hey, as always, thanks for watching. Go out and make it a great day.